Hello everyone, welcome to the Jargus Ranger Review. And we're kicking off with the new season of Power Rangers Super Megaforce with its first episode, Super Megaforce. Real creative names you got there, Saban. So this one picks up right where we left off at the end of Endgame last year, just a few months ago. We get a recap of the last episode where basically Rock has to run away from the invasion because they might not recognize him. So the invading empire starts, well, invading and destroying everything, and Robonite's gone missing. Now the new prince, I did not catch his name yet. I don't think they said it on screen. But he has two that serve right with him in the command room. One is a more general looking guy called Jargus, and the other is some green woman named Lavera, I believe it was. But before we can delve into action, we start off with a new intro, which looks awesome. I mean, it's basically a remake of the last one, but it just sounds a lot better. The visuals are much cooler. Fortunately, you won't see it appended to the end of this episode, due to time constraints. But from episode 2 of the season onward, you will definitely see it. With that being said and done, after the intro, we see the new foot soldiers called the X-Borgs. And they are just taking everything over. Cities in ruins. But the Rangers get to work and start trying to take them out. And I believe this might be some original footage, because they're attacking the local places where the Rangers are usually shown unmorphed. Like it shows Emma going to save Ernie from an attack, and then Noah is at the school, and he's helping them out. And after he saves a couple people, they go out to help others. And they make it clear now that they look up to him and the other Rangers. And eventually Jake and Gia stumble on a command center, then Noah and Emma. Then Gosei says it's an invasion like the Earth has never seen before. And he really must have been asleep during Zordon's era. Otherwise, he would have known all about Countdown to Destruction, where astronomer had rated all the planets. And now I don't want to hear that this is like a new continuity because it's established that they have the past Rangers and they are ready. Anyway, he's showing them footage of everyone being attacked. And then Troy finally shows up and saying that he can't find Robonite anywhere. Then Gosei finally gets to business and gives him them new morphers, which will allow him to tap into the powers of the Ranger keys that we've been seeing along the walls for the past year and doing nothing with. Though Jake, who was the Black Ranger, is now green. And Gosei says there's a simple explanation for that, but it gets cut off when a big attack starts. So, haha Jake, you're the butt of the joke again. And so the Rangers, doing their Megaforce suits, goes to fight, and this time they plan on starting about going to Ultra Mode. But then Troy says no, we have to use the new Super Mega Mode. And so they morph, which is basically another suit going on top of the old Megaforce suit, which is how it looks like at least. And maybe just be the new suit going on top of them in later episodes when they morph in civilian form. And everything is called Super Mega. And the guns are called Super Mega Blasters and Super Mega Sabers. Oh yes, they come equipped with both guns and swords. And so when they take out the enemies, they just switch off at the drop of a fly. So one Ranger might have a gun and a blade, they'll switch off so one is dual-wielding blades, the other has twin pistols, taking out all the X-Borgs. It's a really good showcase of the new powers. And they're all pretty impressed. Though it kind of made me funny when Emma said that the power is amazing, when all I saw on screen doing was just firing her twin blasters. And then they finally decide to tap into the powers of the old Rangers. First by going Samurai, and then I believe SPD, and no, not SPD, Mystic Force. I think, I already forget. But one thing I noticed out is that they said their morphing calls for them, by saying like Go-Go Samurai. So with that added power, they finish them off, and use their new finishing move, the Final Strike, which is basically a wave beam fired from their sword slashes from each one of them, which is a nice bit of flashiness up from Megaforce. Oh, but it's not over yet, because there's another monster with an arm-mounted blaster of swords that just goes on blasting up buildings and blowing them to bits. And this time the Rangers don't even talk to him. They just start shooting him with their blasters and SPD. And then to finish him, they become all Red Rangers. Mixed Force, Operation Overdrive, Wild Force, Jungle Fury, and Samurai. And they finish him with an blazing combo attack. And it looked freaking cool, man. On her own with Argus up above now, Lavera says that they no longer need Zombats to enlarge their minions. Instead just aims a gun from above and fires it, which enlarges both that monster and 2 of the X-Boards. Now Gosei informs them that they have a skyship they can summon now for new powers, which is really just a flying pirate ship. It even has the wheels and everything, and the mass. Now one thing I don't recall seeing from Gokaiger is that it can break into an individual Zords for the Rangers. And so it breaks into a few different Zords that they didn't stand out too much for me, but they take out the enlarged X-Boards. But then it combined with the skyship and became the legendary Megazord. And even fights with 2 pirate swords because it's awesome like that. And this has a lot of blasters on this Megazord. I mean, just to finish off what's left, they just opened up with a bunch of cannon blasts. And to destroy the monster, they use this Super Mega Finish Strike. And you stop calling everything Super Mega. That's just gonna get too ridiculous later on, I'm sure of it. Which is basically a massive missile barrage from the Megazord. It doesn't even need its swords to destroy it. And so that finishes the battle. And then later on, the school looks like it's back to normal. Everyone helped put things together. Got to admire these students. It's like it's Angel Grove all over again. Now Mr. Burley comes to the class. Yeah, remember that idiot? And he remembers what Noah said, and he said everyone that came together to help, and he's proud of everyone in the school because they came together during the invasion. Everyone's clapping, and Rangers are just grinning because they know they get all the credit, really. However, one seat is empty. And episode ends with Troy. He has gone over to the beach, the seaside, and he's staring over and he's wondering where Robo Knight is. And that's where the episode ends. Now right after that, this is a far superior episode to the average of Megaforce. Better than most of the episodes of Megaforce, just this one was. I mean, right from the start, we have the stakes raised high. I mean, a massive new force that's overpowering the Rangers has shown up. They cannot handle it alone, and they've already lost one of their allies. So to meet this threat, they get new powers which are just flashy and super cool looking, and they can do all sorts of new tricks. They finally call upon the old Rangers powers, which has been being hinted at since the very beginning of the last season. I really don't have anything to complain about. This is a powerful start to the season. And it's good for people just starting with Power Rangers and those who are continuing on for Megaforce. It's enough to keep them both interested in it, intrigued into what's going to happen. It's because for old fans, they get to see how their old favorites get put back into action. And for new ones, they get a taste of what they missed before. I'm certainly looking forward to next week to how they continue this. I'm wondering if what happened to Robo Knight is something that ends up being forgotten, or it gets brought up much later, because we're just starting to explore these new powers. And here's wondering if Rock is ever going to show up again, because he was never defeated, he just disappeared on his own. Lots of mysteries, and not the casual ones that were brought up in Megaforce. One thing I hope that doesn't get done is that they call everything they get as new powers Super Mega. Because that one will actually start to get old pretty quickly. Yeah, that's pretty much my only complaint. They kept saying Super Mega too often. But other than that, I really like this episode. And I'm hoping this momentum keeps with the rest of the season. Because last season started out pretty good, and then it tapered off to become very average. I'm hoping that does not happen to this as well. Well, that's all for this episode. I'll see you next week with the next episode of Super Megaforce. Until then, I'm Jargus Ranger. Thanks for watching, and may that power protect you.